Hello, BookTube. We are resuming my 2024 library tour. We have yet to get out of the kitchen. We are a long way from getting out of the kitchen. We are on bookcase number 3, shelf number 3, subsection B, which I'm hoping we can get through entirely in this video so that we can be done with shelf number 3 today. So it looks like the bulk of what we're going to have are these old Bantam mass market paperbacks of canonical classics. Bantam or Mentor or Signet, but it looks like that's what this is going to be. Like, for instance, we have this is what I mean. That's the livery that I mean here. And this is Wuthering Heights, just the Bantam edition of Wuthering Heights. We have this really neat edition of Walden and Other Writings by Henry David Thoreau. That is, I had to reinforce this so there's an ugly seam right down the middle, but the cover would have come off. Otherwise, I'd be no use to anybody. And I've never seen another copy of this. I never see these things anymore in the wild. But that is actually Walden Pond on the cover there. Then this is not an old Signet or an old Bantam. This is a Magnum Easy Eye edition. Cheap mass market paperbacks with original cover art that came out in a whole lineup. Oh, God, a long time ago. They were very, very poorly made. They do not hold up at all. But I have a few of them. I used to have them all. I used to actually collect them until I came to my senses and thought, okay, why are you collecting books that you're never going to be able to read? Not that you're not going to want to. Like, for instance, if I wanted to read something by Thoreau, I have this edition. I doubt that I would ever need to go to it. I have other editions that I like better. But I could go to it. Whereas with the Magnum Easy Eye edition, you can't even use it. It's just going to fall apart. I have one here that didn't fall apart, so I held on to it. This is Adventures of Tom Sawyer. And there you have an example. There was original cover art for all of these things, and they did a wide variety of things. The one Magnum Easy Eye that I don't think I've ever seen, I'm not sure that it was ever made, is Moby Dick. But so many other things, just so many others. And I had so many of them once upon a time. But the problem is that the cover pops off from the text block easily. I mean, it happens without any provocation at all. You don't have to be rough on the book at all. It happens easily. Okay, then we have 2 little mass market paperbacks from Airmont. 2 Shakespeare plays that I just found. I think I found these in a little free library. I have Julius Caesar and Coriolanus. Just 2 little mass market paperbacks there that, not to put it mildly, I would not use these editions. I would not go to them. There's no notes in them of any kind. They're just a play. Unless that's what I want. Maybe I'm in the mood for that. Okay, then we have, this is an oddity. This is the only one of its kind here that I can see. This is an Oxford World Classics of The Devils by Dostoevsky. This is the Michael Katz translation of The Devils. Terrific book, and I really like the translation. I've come to love this translator. I've come to love the job that he does with Dostoevsky. I don't know why. I guess I don't know why it's here, but that makes sense. Not all of my paperback classics are together, and they should be. This whole library tour is going to fix that, and I'm going to fix that, at least out here in the kitchen. Then we have a Viking Portable Library edition. This is Henry James. Which will have The Turn of the Screw, The Beast in the Jungle, The Pupil, tons of short stories, essays, The Art of Fiction, travel sketches. These Viking Portables, I love them. I think they're fantastic collections. We've seen a few of them already. I don't think there are going to be any others on this shelf. And this one shouldn't be here, because if I have these things and love them, they should all be together. Were really, really well done. The editorial people that they got to do them did a really good job. Then we have an old Signet. This did really well, surprisingly well for Signet. This is 3 by Flannery O'Connor. This is Wise Blood, The Violent Bear It Away, and A Good Man Is Hard to Find. This volume made its way onto college campuses like crazy. It made its way into bookstores and the spinner racks of drugstores. Did a lot to disseminate these things. I wish that happened now. I really wish that happened now. These are terrific. They are disturbing. They are brilliantly written. Let's see here. Okay, then we have Tonio Kruger and Other Stories by Thomas Mann, translated by David Luke. Just this mass market paperback edition. I have a newer edition of a translation of non-short stories. I don't think Tonio Kruger is in that one. You can never have too many. What I really want is a big, I think there's a big Everyman hardcover of the collected shorter works, so novellas and short stories, in a pretty good translation. I'd love to have that. Okay, we're back to classics here. We have the Three Musketeers. This is not the, I would want the Ellsworth translation. We'll get to the Ellsworth translation. It's in this library tour. It's entirely likely that we will be getting that big, fat, beautiful, I think it's Basic Books, Ellsworth translation of the Three Musketeers. We will be getting to that, but it's entirely likely that it will be Christmas before we do. Amazingly. We have a lot of ground to cover. This is translated by Lowell Bear, who we've seen before. And it has I associate so many good memories with this particular run of mass market paperbacks. Don't know why, but I do. We have 20,000 Leagues Under the Sea with this terrific cover. Some of them actually are really well designed. I love, for instance, this choice for the Three Musketeers, and I love this too. No try at the Nautilus, no attempt at an octopus or a shark or anything like that. We have The Sea Wolf by Jack London. Not an author that I particularly love. This is probably my favorite thing by him. Let's see here. Okay, we had Lady Chatterley's Lover. Now we have Sons and Lovers by D.H. Lawrence. This is in absolutely perfect condition. I don't have Lawrence anywhere else and would never have him anywhere else. So if I'm going to reread Sons and Lovers, I think I have a hardcover of it, but I have this as well that's just sitting here on the shelf. We have The Heart of Darkness and The Secret Sharer by Joseph Conrad. I know that I'm supposed to... I love that brooding cover there. Just the jungle, not anything else. I know that I'm supposed to like that more than, for instance, The Sea Wolf, but I don't tend to. We have The Adventures of Tom Sawyer. Again, only this... Oh, it's got some schmaltz on it here. This is reverting to type. So this is not a Magnum Easy Eye. This is these old Bantam things with the boys playing Crack the Whip, which boys are not allowed to play anymore legally. Then we have The Adventures of Huckleberry Finn. In this kind of an edition, but not with an unusual cover. That is the Broadway poster for the musical Big River. They just co-opted it for this book. Very, very grateful. I love it. I wish that I had. If I could play mix and match and make perfect editions, I would make a really floppy bound Penguin Classic Deluxe edition of Huck Finn with this cover. But I know there are probably a forest of reasons why I can't do that, legal reasons why I can't do that. We have The Deer Slayer by James Fenimore Cooper. Wonderful, wonderful book. Cooper is not enough read, in my opinion, anymore. We have Candide. This was everywhere in schools. Oh my God, this very edition. This is translated by who? Who does the translation? Lowell Bear. Again, this was in every school. Once upon a time, in America, this was the Candide that you were going to see. We have Kidnapped by Robert Louis Stevenson. And these old Bantam classics, I think they did a few Robert Louis Stevensons that I don't have. I know they did a Jekyll and Hyde that I don't know. I don't remember if I have it. If I do, it'll be here. And it should be here anyway. We have Billy Budd, Herman Melville. And they also did Moby Dick, which we will be getting to. Here we have an old paperback of Idylls of the King by Tennyson. Much battered, but this was also in schools, just everywhere. Feng Shui is starting to be a problem here. We're gonna power on through here. Oh, okay, there we go. There's Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde. Just that, not anything else. It's not Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde and other stories. It's just this. Very popular for students to hand them a short book. We have Gulliver's Travels and Other Writings. A little bit odd as a choice. I like this volume, and of course you can't get enough Swift. But I don't understand the choice of not just having it be Gulliver's Travels in this thing. If your primary rock solid market is schools, surely just Gulliver's Travels. You're going to have a lot enough time getting the students through that, just through Gulliver's Travels. Once they're done with the first two parts of Gulliver's Travels, they're going to wonder why you're making them read more, even though the fourth part of Gulliver's Travels is the best part. Alrighty, then we have more Dostoevsky. This is the Constance Garnett translation of The Idiot. lovely design there. Just something about this period for these books. I just love them. Oh, all right. We have a double. We saw this last time. This is the complete short stories of Mark Twain. So I have Tom Sawyer, Huck Finn, and the complete short stories. I don't know that I have Connecticut Yankee. This particular version of these paperbacks did Connecticut Yankee and with a wonderful cover. But I don't know that I have that. All right, here's Moby Dick. Look at that. How's that for a presentation? That is wonderful. Okay, so Moby Dick should go with Billy Budd. Yes. I think they did any other Melville. With Nicholas Nickleby in this format. No reason particularly why I would do it, but... oh, all right. House of the Seven Gables. Look at that for a cover. One lighted window. How wonderful. Oh, my. How wonderful. We have more Dickens. This is Bleak House. Okay, so all the Dickens should be together. We have these, but we also had... didn't we have Oliver Twist or David Copperfield or something like that yesterday? So these should be together, but I will be rearranging everything, so I won't have to worry about it. Another copy of Wuthering Heights. All right, so I have two of those. This one is obviously much older. I grab them because when I see something out in the wild, when I see one of these out in the wild, I'm never actually sure that I have it, so I grab it anyway. And I think that is it for the old Bantam mass markets. Instead, we will move on to Meridian and Mentor and Signet. This is The Odd Women. Wonderful paperback of The Odd Women. Most of these things like this I have as Penguins. I have as Penguin trade paperback. That will be, generally speaking, better and also generally speaking, more durable. The Odd Women is the best thing that George Gissing ever wrote. I know that's a little bit disloyal of me, since he also wrote a book called New Grub Street, which is in large part set in my life, in the world of periodical hacks. People writing for pay, not much pay, and on deadline. And New Grub Street is particularly good. It does a good job of dramatizing that world, but this book is on another level completely. The only great thing that Gissing did. Okay, then we have an old Signet classic of Paradise Lost and Paradise Regained by Milton. Good notes in this, a good edition to have. We have an old, what is this, Signet? Yes, an old Signet of The Hunchback of Notre Dame. I don't know, this is in really good condition. I'm not sure how well it would stand up to a reading. This is a translation by Walter Cobb. And is the second Hunchback of Notre Dame that we've seen. Is that right? Here? Then we have a Signet classic of Last of the Mohicans. Absolutely. I cannot praise James Fenimore Cooper enough. I know he's not the taste of the reading world anymore, but I absolutely love him. And then another example of what I mentioned yesterday, I think. These old Signet classics of Shakespeare. The Signet classic run of mass market Shakespeare is so good. Just so good. You have the introductions, you have the plays, you have the notes, you have footnotes, you have endnotes, and you have ancillary critical material in the back, essays and appreciations and whatnot in the back of the book. It's really a lot that you get in these little mass markets. And I, of course, have Hamlet. Like, for instance, let's see what this has. The table of contents here. The commentaries are by William Hazlitt, Samuel Taylor Coleridge, A.C. Bradley, Wolfgang Clemen, and Maynard Mack. And that's pretty good. That's really good. Those are commentaries in the back of the book, which was one of the reasons why these editions, these old Signets, were so popular in schools. Because at any level that you were teaching the play, you had a bunch of stuff to draw on right there for your students to use, which is why some of them were permabound. Some of these mass market paperbacks were permabound for school use in libraries. This was done to them. Some weird process where this is the paperback. No hardcover was ever issued of these things. This is the paperback, only somehow someone has put the cover of the paperback. They made it a hardcover somehow. I don't know how this process works. But it was very popular to do, and I don't think it's done this way in schools anymore, but it was very popular once upon a time to do in schools. I love finding these permabound mass market paperbacks because they are not going to fall apart. That's the whole point of them, is that they're going to take as much abuse as anyone can hand out. So I naturally, even though I knew that I had Hamlet, I grabbed this when I saw it. And there you go. We actually did it. That is bookcase number 3 complete. shelf number 3 of bookcase number 3 is now complete. And now we move on to the summit. We move on to the summit of this bookcase. No more shelves, just piles and piles of books. So I don't know how long that's going to take us to do, but we're not on shelves anymore. We've got through the bulk of this bookcase. So that's good. That's good for a cloudy Thursday. So I'll wrap this up, and I'll be back. Thank you, BookTube.